To all you veteran sales reps out there that might be killing it in your current industry, this episode is for you. Today, my guest is Krist, a veteran sales rep who made the transition from wholesale real estate to the hail industry back in 2020, and he's been crushing it ever since. Krist, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me, bro.
Thank you, bro.
The long-awaited Krist episode.
Finally,
There we go.
getting it through, man. Thought I was gonna be first. You told me I was gonna be last. I don't know.
Hey, fourth gonna be the best one. So,
You're right.
Straight into it. Name, where you're from, and how did you find iHail?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm Chris, as Alex said. I'm from El Paso, Texas, a little small town in the southwest part of Texas. And yeah, I don't know. My dad was in sales, and so I kind of followed suit. I guess had the gift. I don't know. I mean, all my teachers back in the day in high school, they always told me, because I actually went to a medical magnet high school, so I thought I wanted to pursue the medical field, and then realized this is not for me. And I remember I think it was my government and economics teacher. She told me, she was like, you have a really good, like gift. Like I was influencing the entire class to make certain picks on certain stocks. And she was like, you seem like more of like an entrepreneur. Like, why don't you do that? And I was like, didn't really pay her any mind, because I thought she meant like, oh, maybe I'm just not cut out for the medical field. But no. And I kind of found my way after college. So
straight after college into the world of commission-only direct sales.
yeah,
Is that accurate?
exactly accurate.
So bring us up to speed a little bit. So you started back in 2020. Krist actually started 2-3 weeks before COVID, or maybe it was actually in COVID. It was right when COVID started to hit, I think, is when you came on. So what was that like, going from, wholesale real estate the year prior, and then whatever you were selling prior to that, to this business?
Well, I think it was a pretty smooth transition, because it was commission only in wholesale. The only difference is you would have fewer deals on the wholesale side. So it just felt slower. And then once I kind of made the transition to iHail, it was just way more rewarding. And honestly, like the commissions on that were, I mean, about half of what you were making, per deal out, like with wholesale real estate. But yeah, I don't know, it just felt quicker. I felt like you would get a lot more impressions. A lot of people were more receptive, because this is kind of a product that people need, and they don't have to pay for, as opposed to wholesale real estate, where you're just kind of hey, can I steal your equity almost,
It definitely feels good having the customer and not pay anything. So
Yeah.
there is that piece of it. I would say, obviously you see the squad has grown over the past, years or whatever, past few years. And there's all types that we have on the squad. But I would say, of all the recruits that we've had, you among all of them, you've kind of, I guess, fallen into this like groove of, what this business can offer someone, in that, you come into it, there's a busy season, there's an off season. So you come into it year after year, rack up a bag, and then kind of chill in the off season. So
Mhm.
I guess talk a little bit to that in terms of like the lifestyle, and, how it really is tailored to, a young guy who's looking to just make a ton of cash and then kind of do what they want and see what other opportunities unfold.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, the reality of this industry is that that it's finite. You're only gonna be able to rip it sometimes 5 months, sometimes 9 months if you're lucky. Because it's so weather dependent, and obviously nobody can control the weather. I think just having the idea that you don't have all year to make money, it creates a sense of urgency to really push and stay focused. And I mean, off season, it's fun to kind of hang out, but I think this year I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna try and set up some online businesses, and maybe cash flow a little bit, just so I can start to buy some assets, buy some solid properties, and yeah, just continue. Because I mean, as much as I like to admit it, I love saying that I'm young, but I mean, Approaching 30, bro.
How old are you now?
28.
28? Oh, bro, you're a child still.
Nah.
It's all good. It's all
I mean,
good.
I still act like I'm a child,
You're
but
old compared to Diego and Joseph, I
yeah,
guess,
for sure.
but still in your 20s. You got
Yeah.
time, bro. It's all good. Let's talk commissions for a little bit. You're at around 50 units for the season, which you actually came into the year a little bit later than
Mhm.
when most people start. So had kind of a late start, but no worries. You're still at 50 units. That's roughly 75,000 ish. What is it like to make that much money in such a short amount of time?
I mean, I'm kinda used to it now. I'm
Okay.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, it feels great. I mean, I just, going from, the off season where you kind of sometimes you can get a little ahead of yourself and maybe spend too much or have too much fun. Um,
You would never do that.
I don't do that.
Come on.
Yeah.
Kidding.
I do that. No, I mean, it's just great to be able to, obviously develop the skill to where you can get into a situation like that. And, yeah, just stack bread. It's one of the skills, and I tell everybody this that is trying to get into sales. It's something that nobody can take from you once you've kind of developed the skill, and it's something that you can take everywhere. So in the off season, there was one year where I worked for a marketing firm that was marketing for lawyers, insurance agents. Our primary demographic was real estate agents, and we'd run their entire campaign. And yeah, no, it was just it was like kind of like a boiler room phone type of a position. And I mean, after my like second month, yeah, I was still technically in training. They had me training people because I don't know. I think the great thing about iHail is that this is one of the only companies that will invest the resources into creating a training program that will take you from beginner, just kind of following a pitch into like a true killer. And so, I mean, yeah, once you kind of develop that sales skill, I mean, you can really do anything. And I had one mentor that was one of my old bosses back in the day. He would say, sales isn't everything, it's the only thing. Right. So a lot of people, they like to play business. They think that you need an established, retail space with a desk and a copier and computers. That comes last. And that's one thing that you guys founded your principles on. Like, let's find the sale first. Let's find the clients first, and then we'll build everything out based off that. So I think that's super super important.
Yeah, I mean, the sales engine is everything, truly. And you kind of touched on it. That was going to be one of my questions, but you kind of alluded to it. But yeah, it's what's the biggest value add that we have here? And I've always said it to new recruits, guys that have just been on a month, just in their kind of trial period. And then even with the veterans,
Hmm.
the biggest value add is the skill that we're teaching you how to sell, how to
Yeah.
persuade. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do in life if you're looking for a better mortgage rate on a house, or if you're trying to buy a car, if you're trying to, win the girl of your dreams, whatever it is, it's all a big giant sale.
Yeah.
So the money's one thing, but the skill of learning the
For
salesmanship
sure, and
is.
honestly, to everybody that's looking to get into something like this, I guess industry specific, but just say in my
Bro, your camera's right there.
oh, my bad. In my industry, I would definitely say, I have buddies that kinda do the same thing for different companies, and they don't have the same culture, they don't have the same camaraderie, and they don't have the training packet, right? And so, they kinda just throw you to the wolves, tell you like, "Hey, just go out and try and find, sales." And I mean, yeah, if you have the drive and the hustle, you'll find deals. But realistically, it's those deals that are just kind of in between, not sure, not really interested. They iHail specifically really teaches you how to fish for, what that true objection is and where that sale could be.
The difference between being an amateur and a pro, it's in the
Exactly.
training in between,
Yeah.
for sure. Um, what has been your biggest challenge that you say you have faced in door-to-door sales?
Um, that's a really good question. Um, I mean, I would say just the consistency aspect. I mean, I know it's really easy to kind of get ahead of yourself, and in the first month, month and a half, 2 months, it feels easy. You go out, people are receptive, people want to get their vehicles fixed, And it's kind of easy to start to coast. So I feel like a lot of people, they operate on motivation, and this is something that I've been doing a lot of extensive research on. ChatGPT is your best friend, I swear by that. And so I've been doing a lot of soul searching and really wanted to kind of figure out, like, why does this here feel different, or why do I feel like I'm more centrally focused on my goals. And it really just kind of falls back onto the idea of trying to operate off discipline, to create that consistency. So, instead of like everything feels fresh and good, 2 months in, it'll start to, also feel like you're still, bringing in a lot of deals, after that 2-month period, when things start to, slow down, when people, their receptiveness, it just isn't there. So, I feel like just building that discipline. I mean, every time you do the right thing, it's a rep in the gym of discipline. And I feel like I've been switching from motivation to create those good habits and the good discipline, and I feel like that'll take you to where you need to be.
Definitely. Yeah. Discipline, that's such a key word. And I'm glad you brought it up because I mean, I harp on that all the time in our sales meeting.
Right.
Discipline, discipline, discipline. But yeah, I mean, motivation is fleeting. It's a feeling almost. It comes and it goes.
Yeah.
But discipline is the boring stuff in between that can get you to your ultimate goal. A good example of that
Exactly.
is Ryan, one of our newest recruits
On my team.
on your team. Yeah, actually, he came on board. He didn't know a thing about this business whatsoever, but he had the goal of, hey, I'm going to knock 50 knocks a day. Whatever happens, I'm just going to hit 50 knocks a day. And I mean,
Mhm.
he's a living testament to that, having
Yeah.
true success just off of that volume of discipline,
Yeah.
rather.
Three
So
deals in 2 weeks, and I think they just set another one for him. So yeah, no, I think that is, if you're gonna get into commission only sales, that's the best method, or I guess mindset to be in, is to focus on the discipline. Because if you don't have the discipline, I mean, it's like I said, it's easy to just get off track and not do what you have to do for yourself and obviously for the company.
it reminds me of back in the year 2022 when someone I know fell victim to what we call BCS, big check syndrome.
I don't know who that guy is.
But yeah, I mean, I remember one time I think you had like a $25,000 paycheck, and it was like, I mean, we're not immune. None of us are immune to it. It's like when you get a big paycheck, and it's like, okay, like I'm kind of good for a little bit. It's
Mhm.
easy to let your foot off the gas and kind of coast a little bit.
Yeah,
But it sounds like there was some growth that happened with you between 22 and now
yeah,
on, like, hey, it's a different season. I need to establish this discipline to get me ultimately to where I want to go, which is, the fattest bag possible for the off
absolutely.
season. Going back to the beginning, if you can think about that, the early days in 2020, when you first kind of learned about the opportunity, was there a part of you that thought maybe this is a little too good to be true? The customer doesn't pay anything, but you can still earn these big commissions. Think back to that time. Like, what was that like for you?
I mean, I just one click applied on Indeed. So, no, it was, when I heard about it, I mean, I think it made enough logical sense for me to be like, "Oh, well, this makes sense." I mean, I definitely understood that to the customer it might not make sense, but that's because maybe they've never dealt with hail damage, or they're not familiar with, like, programs that a lot of these other shops have. And so I don't know. I guess, for me, it made sense. I mean, obviously the insurance company, they're liable, for the damages. So, um, it makes more sense to, kind of give the client the break on the deductible, so that we can bring in more, more vehicles, more referrals. So I just yeah, I don't know. It didn't really seem like too good to be true. It felt like, yeah, this seems like a pretty easy product I could sell.
Definitely. To people that think it is too good to be true, it's like, you're still at the doors, you're still pounding pavement, you're still putting those reps in. So, I mean, we do earn every dollar that we make
100%.
for sure. Um, all right. Bringing things back up to speed. We got the big bonus for the year, the Rolex, 1 million in revenue or 100 units.
Yeah.
Are you gonna win the Rolex?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's
No question about it.
no question, yeah. I already
Okay.
have a plan for it too. Um,
What's your plan?
so yesterday I tried something a little bit different. started to default back just to the doors, and I realized, um, I was really, really pushing up north in North counties really, really hard and just wasn't getting many answers, and I mean, I was knocking 40, 50, 60 doors, but I talked to, like, 2, 3 people a day, and it just kinda got super, super stale, so I decided to go down south. The receptiveness was there, but the specific area that I was in, I mean, you have to knock 3 or 4 doors just to find, the owner of one car. And so it just wasn't the most efficient way of doing things. So I went back to parking lots. And yesterday, I think I had 12 approaches, which, I mean, if you did the math on, you know, the production that I was doing, I want to say throughout the last week at the doors, I mean, that's like you would have to knock at least 80 to 100 doors just to get that many approaches based off, the last week. So I feel like realistically, the one thing that you obviously can't control is who opens the door, right? So if you can mitigate that by, finding a car somewhere in a parking lot, they're gonna get back to the car. So I think what's more valuable of a metric to really focus on is those conversations, right? Because I mean anybody can go out and knock 60, 70, 80 doors, right? And you feel like you're accomplishing something or that you're being productive, but you're really not, right? So I feel like a lot of what this industry has taught me is that as time progresses throughout the storm, you ultimately kind of have to switch things up to, get that volume of, and it's not volume of doors, it's volume of people you've talked to, right? So my new goal, going into from now to the end of the season, November 1st, is to be, let me just have 20 hail conversations. Like I think I could set enough to where I'll be able to hit that goal. Cause I mean, it doesn't take very many conversations for me to set up an appointment. And that's because I've just been doing this for so long. But I think, yeah, just 20 hail conversations a day. I mean, it should net at least 3 to 5 evals, depending on, if it's a deal, So I think that's a more valuable way to go about, charting your metrics and whatnot. So I feel like that's, yeah.
Ultimately, the thing is, contacts. Sales is a contact sport. One of the great quotes. The more contacts that you can make, the
Hmm.
better off you're going to be. So whether that's at the doors knocking or parking lot approaches, however you get your conversations in, ultimately it's just having, like you said, as many hail related conversations as you can per
Yeah.
day.
And like I
So
said, I mean, I was out in the Southampton area and talked to 5, 6 people a day.
20 conversations a day is going to get you to the Rolex.
I think
That
so.
that's what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay. All
because I
right.
mean, if based on my conversion rate, if I can at least get one deal a day, I mean, I should have a good enough buffer to be able to hit that. And we're not going Datejust this year. We're
No
going
day just
Daytona.
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 Ugh, okay. All right.
That's a
We'll see.
that's a big goal. That's a big goal.
What's it like being an Ihalian?
Uh, it's great. I think I think most people can say this, but since the company was founded back in, was it late 2019?
It became an idea in late 2019.
Okay, so I was like higher number what? Like
I think you were number 3,
number
I
3.
wanna say.
Yeah, so I think since then, um I don't know, I've been the biggest mascot for this company.
You are a good mascot for
I love
IHale, that's for
I
sure.
love eye hail. I've considered multiple times getting a eye hail tattoo,
Oh,
even though I
man.
I don't have any.
I'm gonna
And
hold you to that.
I mean, if I hit the 100, I'll get it. You know.
We'll see if you slack off 1 month. Maybe that'll be a
No, whoa,
punishment.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Remember discipline, bro.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, no, I think I'm the biggest mascot of this company. I love how I kind of came in here with a little bit of sales experience, and it was just refinement. And I think having, like MJ says, just being that student, wanting to incrementally improve every single day, at least by 1%. I think that creates a lot of growth. It creates a lot of momentum, and this is a momentum game at the end of the day. I mean, um, obviously, it's easy to have momentum when there's a fresh storm because you're talking to so many people. People are motivated to get it fixed, but it's really what you do when things slow down is what creates that real, like, operator identity as opposed to just being a hustler, you know?
I'm glad you brought that up. Ricardo, my partner, has a famous saying. He says, "Winter is coming." And he'll start saying this as early as June. Winter is coming.
Yeah.
And we're getting into that time of year. Hey, we're like 75 days out before, winter is here, right? The famous Game of Thrones meme. And it's true. I mean, everyone can be excited and, super happy to be making the big paychecks and all those things, 60, 90, 120 days after a storm. But as you kind of get into the depths of, peak season, and it's like you're knocking on the doors and people are telling you, you're the 10th guy that's talked to me, and you're starting to get that pushback and a little bit hostility rises. And now there's like real obstacles to overcome.
Yeah.
It's a matter of, just having that mental fortitude to just push past it and
Right.
to just get your knocks in and to just bunker down and really commit to finishing out strong.
Right. I think
So
it's important to, and once you get past, this whole motivation kind of like, I guess, identity, or you once when you're on, operating off of motivation, going into discipline, you take out all the emotions out of it. At that point, it's like, well, I got to do this because I absolutely have to. Like Aaron the, I don't know if you're familiar with Aaron the plumber. There's this one meme of him just being like, I absolutely have to. And so I think about that every day. And so I feel like if you can just take the emotion out of, oh, it's hot. Oh, there's a chance it's gonna rain. Oh, I'm tired, and just do what you have to do every day. I mean, Tate says it the best. I mean, there's I've never seen someone that did everything they had to every day, and everything that they were supposed to do not succeed. And so I think that's huge. That's so important to creating this, ironclad, strong mentality that I think you need to just succeed in not only this business, but everything.
in this business, we would just call that locking in.
Yeah.
So
Locked in.
on that note, Chris, thank you for joining me
Yes,
today.
sir.
It's been a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. We'll see
Absolutely.
you.